afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Josh Guillory Show. I am your grateful host, and in studio with me over there, Q Magic Money.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, baby. It is a good afternoon. You know, hey, this is cold weather. You gotta wake up. Oh my goodness. But we are broadcasting live from the KPEL studios here in Lafayette, Louisiana. Also broadcasting live on Rumble, rumble.com. I got a thumbs up. Yep, good. Rumble.com. Also shout out to our KFF Plus viewing audience. You can also catch us on all our social medias. You can go to my X page at Josh Guillory USA. We're on YouTube and a whole bunch of other things. So appreciate you joining us and joining the conversation. We have so much to talk about. There's no way we finish it in 2 hours, but we're going to give it a good go like we do every day. All right. This one comes from Josh Christensen over at the New York Post. Combined. Also, I looked at a DHS, basically a release on the Department of Homeland Security's website. You can see all this stuff. But it's pretty sad. It's detailing the death of 11-year-old Aiden Antonio Torres de Paz in Escondido, California. All right, so Aiden, 11 years old, man, really, really, really sad. So the reporting shows that the driver, it was a hit and run. So the driver who struck him and fled, of course, Hector Balderas Alhiler. He is a Mexican illegal alien, old Hector, who has been deported 4 separate times. 4 separate times, this one person, and re-entered the United States again before this crash. After his arrest, however, ICE, accordingly, issued a detainer. You got to hold him. Well, you would think most law-abiding people would probably say, yeah, hey, hello, that's real chat. You win. You're first today on the Rumble chat. Go check us out. But you would think federal law, you got to kind of work with them, you know? At minimum, you can't obstruct. At minimum. And that's going to be important when we talk about it later. But why? Well, the reason this happened, because California sanctuary laws blocked it from being honored. You can't make this up. Illegal alien comes here illegally, caught 4 times. Caught, okay? Deported 4 times. And he just comes on back. This time, he hit an 11-year-old, Aiden. Killed him. Sad. And you know what's really sad? Aiden was retrieving a soccer ball. A soccer ball, November 26th, when he was hit by a fleeing driver, which was this illegal alien. Aiden ended up dying the next day. Very sad. Police arrested Hector on November 29th for felony hit and run. DHS records, again, they show that, man, he was removed 4 times under different Republican and Democrat administrations. I'm looking at the stats. ICE did its job, immediately lodged an arrest detainer after his new arrest. The San Diego County Sheriff's Office rejected it, said nope, and they cited California Values Act. Ooh, that sounds good. Values. Did they ever hear of the Constitution? Your little value laws can't conflict with it. And when it does, well, there's preemption. This is all going to get, solved and worked itself out. But my goodness, why do we have to do this? So Newsom's office says federal officials can still act, guys. Y'all can still do your job, but does not require cooperation with ICE. Well, you can't ignore their lawful authority. That is interfering. It's more than not cooperating, Governor. DHS is publicly pressing Newsom to honor the detainer so the suspect is not released again. DHS says under President Trump and Secretary Noem, they are removing violent criminals and fighting sanctuary obstruction. And I am happy to see the secretary call it exactly what it is. It is sanctuary obstruction, obstructing the laws of the federal government. The federal government is a government of limited power. It does not feel that way because we, the people, over the years, and we, the court, allowed the federal government to get absolutely out of control, okay? Maybe we can rein it in one day. I don't know. I always say, Quentin, if Republicans act like Republicans, that would work.
Yeah, if they would just follow the values and the principles that underlie the party, good things would happen and good things would get done.
Yeah, just do what we say we're going to do.
Exactly. It's when we deviate from our principles that bad things happen.
But I said about this yesterday. I know my friends are Democrats that possibly, there's some that believe in all that lefty stuff. Okay, that's all right. It's all good. It's America. Believe what you want to believe. But they're frustrated when their leader's in charge because they're not doing AOC stuff, So it just goes to show you that the folks, a majority will elect an ideology based on what candidates are saying, and then they just get in office and do what they want. They actually, no, they don't do what they want. They do what has always been done for 60 or 70 years, and that's the elites running the show. Maybe 100 years. Maybe 150. Yeah, I'll go at 150. That's what I'm going with. I reserve the right to change it. But still, isn't that crazy? You can have a majority. We in Louisiana know it all too well. We have a supermajority Republican legislatures, House and Senate. Now, look, man, I know a lot of these guys. I served with a lot of these guys. Did a lot of great things with a lot of these guys, okay? Some of them. Some. But, man, we ran on certain things, like shrinking the state government. We ran on things like eliminating the sales, the income tax. I know we made some strides and been talking with Ms. Emerson. She's going to come on the show. She's run for U.S. Senate as well. And she was involved in all that, and she came on the show at the time and explained we appreciate that. And you take the wins. So we appreciate that. But, we don't expect giving to our Republicans to give Congress Democrats a seat. I mean, I could go on and on and on. We expected things like blowing up certain agencies like DOTD and reassembling them in a way that empowers local government so that we can actually pave roads, so that we can actually do infrastructure, so that we can actually do things that help the people that pay the dang taxes anyway, which is all of us in some way, shape, or form. So we thought we would get that, and we just get basically John Bel Edwards light. Am I wrong?
Preach it.
Come on now. I'm just saying. And the thing is, guys, it's easy. We just got to have somebody that wants to do it. I know that sounds so like, no, really. Hey, man, we all come with our own experiences. I have mine, and I did it. And it's easier the higher you go, believe it or not, on that thing, on that. You'll upset more people, though. But it's all good. All right, guys, stick around. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Josh Guillory Show. Man, we're broadcasting live on rumble.com. Go check us out, rumble.com. Look up the Josh Guillory Show. We're also broadcasting live from the KPL studios here in Lafayette, Louisiana. Joe Biden's lost memory. You have joined us again, my dear friend, on the Rumble chat. Yeah. Hadn't seen you. Yeah, we missed you. We missed you on the chat. We didn't miss you in office. We missed you in the chat. All right. Anywho. Okay, so look, we're talking about an 11-year-old little boy, Aiden, that was killed by an illegal alien who was deported 4 times and, shocking, has come back. And, you know, say what you want about illegal immigration. You can say literally whatever you want. But for this person being here, period, it was literally impossible. It's literally impossible for Aiden to have been hit if he's not here, okay? So you can say what you want on the left. You can say all what you want about illegal immigration and us not having a heart or whatever propaganda point you think you feel like you need to drop. But the reality is, because if you can't understand, if you can't recognize that fact, then you're unreasonable. That is a reasonably undisputed statement. If the person's not physically here, they cannot do anything, good or bad. All right, so let's just get, because our very, very learned audience, they are shaking their heads in disgust with me out of impatience. Like, we understand that. I get it, but not everybody does. And do you understand that I have had discussions with people that are confused and identify with far left policies? They can't even recognize that fact. Those, you just mark them, you pray for them, and you treat them kindly, and you move on because you're not getting anywhere with them. Because that's like saying, I don't know, this is a microphone. No, it's an egg. I'm telling you, it's a microphone. No, it's an egg. Like, that's the kind of mentality. Very small percentage. Most people get it. All right, I digress. But I think it hits a little harder, this little story, because of Aiden's circumstance. 11 years old, And also, one thing we fail to recognize as what we should, this is also a family grieving the loss of an 11-year-old little boy. I mean, again, the kid was outside. Aiden was outside playing soccer. He's doing what every kid in America should be able to do in peace. And the man who ran him over should not have been anywhere near that neighborhood. Literally. He shouldn't have been on that road. He should not have been in the country. He has been deported 4 times. Not 2, not 1, not 3, 4. 4 times. And California's sanctuary laws still slam the door shut on ICE the moment they tried to take custody again. This will all play itself out, and it's not going to play itself out in California's favor in my opinion, if it goes up the chain. Now, you might have some victories with some woke, out-of-touch judges that want to be activists, in my humble opinion. Many people are saying that. But once logic sets in, I would imagine, the right thing will happen. But this is the part that infuriates. I mean, infuriates regular people. Like regular Joe Public U.S. citizen, okay? Everyday Americans understand right and wrong faster than any politician ever will. Okay? Let's just identify that truth. They hear, like I'm talking to your regular American citizen, Democrat, Republican, I don't care. Common sense people, okay? Most people hear 4-time removed criminal illegal alien, and the reaction is instant. They hear 11-year-old boy killed retrieving a soccer ball, and the response is heartbreak. They hear sanctuary laws rejected ICE's detainer, and the response is like anger, real anger. The kind of anger parents feel when they look at their own kids and imagine the unthinkable. That's That is where we're at. And this is where California's political machine sends its message loud and clear. And it's not just in California. They're just leading the charge right now. They care more about protecting their sanctuary narrative than protecting a child who never made it to middle school. Where's your duty, Governor? Where's your duty, people in charge over there? Like, your duty is to the illegal alien? That's your duty? You ignore your duty to the 11-year-old?
Yeah, and the illegal alien's not even a voter unless...
And if he goes to Minnesota, he'll get a CDL. We'll cover that next. Oh, my, or one at some point. So, anyway, but yeah, dude, they do not care that this boy died. They don't care. They do not care. They do not care. They do not care. Not enough to change anything, at least. I mean, not enough to cooperate with ICE, the lawful path to do this. Not enough to do the basic thing every civilized society is supposed to do, which is to remove a dangerous person from circulation. And this is where, look, this is a clear difference. We don't always get to identify a difference, you know? This right here is a clear difference. This is where President Trump's administration is doing something different than the prior administration, and you are noticing it. See, Newsom and them could do this without any. They were doing this for years. They didn't need their little Values Act. But this is where President Trump's administration is doing exactly what the federal government actually exists to do. Protect Americans. Enforce immigration law. It is actually in the Constitution. Prevent repeat offenders. That is what you're supposed to do. Under Trump and Secretary Noem, you know, DHS isn't whispering about it. They are publicly demanding that Newsom stop violating the law, but stop blocking them from taking this killer into custody. They're calling out California by name because the stakes are too high to pretend that this is a policy disagreement. We just disagree. We'll have to agree to disagree. No, man, this is different. Aiden's family is planning a funeral during the Christmas season because California is determined to be a sanctuary state no matter what the cost. At this point, property, okay, who cares? Life. It's a big difference in beliefs. Where's your duty lie? Most Americans understand, Democrat or Republican. But these people are in charge. And there are people in your community that believe in the same thing, no matter what your community is, wherever you are. So we got to be aware that there are actually people that believe this and they can get elected. But the contrast here could not be sharper. Could not be sharper. So, all right, guys, let's stick around. We'll be right back. My favorite part of the whole show, the phone lines are opening up. 232-1542. Give us a buzz. Stick around. Welcome back to the Josh Guillory Show. We're broadcasting live from the KPL studios here in Lafayette, Louisiana. Also broadcasting live from Rumble, rumble.com. Go check us out at rumble.com. You can look up our socials and shout out to KFY Plus, our viewing audience over there. We certainly appreciate you. Hey, to our business owners out there, man, do what all these other business owners are starting to do, and I'm so honored by this, and it's fun. Put on the Josh Guillory Show in your lobby. Join the current trend, man. Put us on there. You can go to YouTube. You can go to Rumble. You can go to my X page, whatever. But Rumble's easiest. Put us on all your major apps. They're there. And, yeah, we can join the fun. Free entertainment for your lobby. Think about it. All right. So here we go. I was saying earlier, and we're going to move on from this very sad story. But the contrast here, it could not be sharper, because this is a difference between Democrats and Republicans right here. On one side, you have federal officials saying, we are not letting violent criminals walk. Okay? Now, on the other side, you have a state government waving off ICE and telling them to get a judge's warrant if they want to keep this man off the street. They don't enforce federal law. Anyway, well, Hurdle, California knows, by the way. So the whole warrant process, I mean, Democrats and rhinos, they know how to play the judiciary. They know this is a hurdle, and California knows this, that is slow, bureaucratic, and often impossible, like in real time, okay? Sanctuary policies, they create these little tragedies. They don't prevent them. They enable them. They give repeat border crossers room to roam. They give criminal, illegal aliens breathing space to hurt people who never deserve what came to their doorstep at all. Well, I know this caller understands it. Hey, guys, those phone lines are open, 232-1542. You can join my friend Warren and be a part of the show. Warren, what you got, buddy?
Well, you know, I said the truth will set you free. I've always heard that, but it gets me disconnected. You know.
Yeah, you ain't kidding.
Trump's like Jesus. When Jesus come in the temple and he jumped over the table, the only time he ever got violent because the money changers were swindling the people. See, Trump done come in and jumped over the table, so that's why he's so despised. He done busted it up, you know, and I'm telling you, they were talking this morning saying we got a spending problem. No, it's not a spending problem the state of Louisiana got. Louisiana got a lying, thieving, deceiving problem. They lying to the people about the taxes and overtaxing them so they have more money to steal. And just look at it in New Orleans as an example. $250 million. You're going to keep giving a thief money, it must be because you're a thief too. You know, I'm telling you, Josh, this is sad. This needs to come to an end. All this overtaxing of people, lying, deceiving, you know, they're going to be sorry one day. Thank you, Josh.
Hey, thanks, Warren. Appreciate it, guys. Give us a call, 232-1542, 844-766-6607, outside the Acadiana area. Hey, you know, I will say this. Anytime you do something different, you're going to upset the, you know, you'll upset the old guard. You'll upset the bureaucrats. You'll upset the elite. You'll upset people that have just done this. This is how we've always done it. Well, meaning we've always greased the palms where we need to grease the palms, or whatever. Good old boy, blah. But Warren, you know, brings up Louisiana, and every time, I mean, it's still my home. I love it, you know? And it's just so easy. That's why, like, it's so frustrating. And anybody that tells you, anybody that goes in there, oh, it's so complicated. Government budgeting is so complicated. Man, 1 + 1 = 2. Like, dude, like, those are the guys that don't need to be in office. Those are the no-getters. They just go find no's. Go find no. Go tell all the people how much you can't do. I want doers. Lawfully, ethically, and morally, but I want doers. I want people that are okay with being bold, you know, and actually remembering who they represent. But this is easy. There's no reason why we should, all right, I'm just going to lay it out there. Louisiana should not have a sales tax or income tax. We shouldn't. It should be zero. We were arguing over $1 billion, guys. That's the only reason why we didn't go to a zero income taxes, because it was a revenue shortfall of like 1.2 or 1.3. I can shake a stick in government. What's that all about? Well, I can shake a stick in state government. We're going to take a little break. I can shake a doggone stick in state government and find over $1 billion to cut. I will tell you that right now. Oh, we don't have to take a break. Okay. That's interesting. Hey, free music out there. But it's true. It's true. We have a spending problem. I know Warren says he made a joke, but we do have a spending problem. We do not have a revenue problem. The state has enough money. Just go to DOTD. And look, there are things that work well, and we should not eliminate the state DOTD. But the state DOTD is just one example, because I know it's the most tangible example that I can give, that I've seen firsthand, that I know will deliver the results that I'm telling you. If you cut DOTD by 50%, it's hypothetical, okay? If you just took it by 50% or a strong enough percentage, and then worked with the municipalities who could take over these state roads, you could then, and also lower the damn state taxes for roads as well, and put that on the municipalities or the parishes. We are no longer in a Huey P. Long era. I even give Huey P. Long a pass on the roads, because there was really only Baton Rouge and New Orleans at the time. Lafayette could not take on the infrastructure. We didn't have the tax revenue, for sure. Taxes looked a lot different. But control was so centralized. And there was some good that came out of it, but boy, look what, hey, how much of that power that Huey P. Long brought to the governor's office, how much has Louisiana given back?
None.
They've probably grown it. You get what I'm saying? So, look, we elect these conservatives. It is not hard. Don't let them tell you it's hard, man. It's not. It's not. What do you want to accomplish? Great. If everything's a priority, nothing's a priority. Make your priorities cool. You got your priorities up there. Cut spending. Why is this hard? It's not. They don't want to lose their power. Seriously. They think that they can control these little municipalities and parishes and stuff. It's a different day. We should lower state taxes across the board. We should work with local governments for local governments to decide what they want to be taxed on. And I promise you, the citizens will make it very known to that mayor and to that council or councils of what the priorities of the community are. Roads always seem to rank high. Drainage, when there's threat of a flood, or when it's front of mind, yeah, that's important. And it's easy to forget because people are busy. I get it. But, I'm just saying, this model to fix what's happening in Louisiana, it's not hard. We just need Republicans to do what Republicans say we're going to do when we get into office. That's it. And it's not evil. What Democrat that's listening can argue with what I just said? If you, Shreveport hired elected Republican. New Orleans. Even old New Orleans. If you get someone, that's a Democrat city. If you get, maybe New Orleans is a bad example. Even the Democrat cities, they will take care of the needs of the people more than even a Republican national leader, because they know the needs better. And that's a conservative philosophy. See, us conservatives, you do you. You want to live in a village, town, city, or whatever, parish or county that wants to believe in all that left-leaning stuff, man, that's great, because I never have to go there. And it's easier for me to avoid your city than your state. So I'm all about local governments deciding local issues. It's just so much easier. But that is a conservative philosophy. And it's an American philosophy. Think about, running this state would be the easiest thing that someone could do. It's easier the higher you go. I'm just telling you. But anyway, all right, let's go to the phone lines. All right, Renee, what you got? Bring some common sense, Renee.
I don't know. when you come to states, it's kind of like foreign countries. In the 50s, Eisenhower had the CIA making conditions favorably so these people stay in their own country and don't come in waves to illegally immigrate over here illegally. Yet with states, we have no control over this. If these people elect a commie madame in New York and he tanks the economy like a bunch of drowning rats, these people will come over here, and then they'll take their bad political habits and vote, their Danning-Kruger stupid habits, and vote for trash over here and come and ruin everybody else's state after that state becomes like I Am Legend, all desolate with animals and trees growing all over the place where they had a city, like Detroit.
All right. I'll admit I zoned out a little bit, but I came back at the end, and I think I knew where you landed. Thanks, Renee. Appreciate you. All right, let's go to Mr. Bobby. Mr. Bobby, what you got?
Yeah, what happened to Huey Long? Boom, 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 boom. Hey, Gillis Long was running the state until he died.
Till who died?
Till Gillis Long died. He was running the damn state. He controlled all them politicians. Wasn't that Huey Long's nephew or uncle or something?
All them Longs were. I don't know the whole. I know his brother. I know Earl shooting a lawnmower and stuff like that. Oh, Earl. But anyway, hey,
Huey Long got plugged at the Capitol, remember?
That's right. I got you, Mr. Bobby. All right, stick around.
Hey, let Blue Wave step up and argue the point with you. You don't never get no Democrats calling you except Blue Wave, and I think he's a red wave anyway.
Hey, we love Mr. Blue Wave. to the Josh Guillory Show. Man, I'm still excited to be here with you, and I hope you are too. That's Real Shap, man. She said, I can't remember That's Real Shap. I'm sorry. I apologize. If Cajuns ran the government, we wouldn't have left wing or right wing. We'd just have chicken wing, and everybody would show up to the meeting. And we would get some stuff done, too.
Yup.
Tell you what, feed you first, though, boy. Get you well fed. And come on in here. Let's talk about business. Let's get down to the nuts and the bolts. See, Cajun won't mess around with that. And I say Cajun universally, this culture. Put someone like a real Louisiana folk. Like I thought we were electing that. Anyway, I gotta stop that. All right, let's talk about Arctic frost. You remember that?
I do. Wasn't that a spy
Oh,
thing?
well, that's what you must have been queued up that I was going to say FBI, and that's why you said that, spy.
Oh, I must have thought of a different agency, but isn't that something that the other agencies do, like NSA, CIA, and other countries?
Yeah, but they do it to the bad guys.
Oh.
Yeah, they don't. Well, I don't know. Jury's still out on that. Let's move on. Arctic frost was the Biden era FBI and DOJ operation. Remember Jack Smith? That was Jack Smith, that's the special counsel over there, who used this to chase phone records. Okay, Arctic frost to chase phone records and data from Trump allies after the 2020 election. It morphed into a sweeping probe that touched, a lot of folks, activists, aides, attorneys, and members of Congress, all while the public was kept in the dark. That's what the rhinos and Democrats do. The leaders, okay? But this new report, it shows the Biden DOJ quietly pulled lawmakers' call logs under gag orders that even the chief judge may not have understood. Like, for real. Okay. Again, even this will work itself out. But it's interesting to realize this stuff happens, and let's see why. So let's go over some facts, though. It's important. The Biden DOJ, they asked Judge Boasberg, and if I'm mispronouncing it, Judge, I apologize. They asked him for a one-year gag order or one-year gag orders tied to Arctic frost phone subpoenas. A senior court official, they now say that the DOJ, they didn't tell the judge the numbers belong to sitting House and Senate members. The DOJ submitted the gag request using only anonymous phone number labels, hiding who the targets actually were. So, Grace Lee, Ron Johnson, Jim Jordan, they've been kind of leading the charge here. They're saying that the DOJ already knew there were constitutional issues involving speech or debate protections. And they just went ahead along with it anyway. Jack Smith went forward with the subpoenas himself anyway. Pre-policy change, by the way, meaning he was not required to notify the judge, but could have. He chose not to. He could have, and he chose not to. Real transparent. Really, really moral high ground. When they go low, we go high. Yep. Republicans across both chambers are demanding the sealed materials be open so the public can see exactly what the DOJ concealed. A very reasonable request that should be joined with Democrats as well, but unfortunately it's only one-sided here. Just like the targeted subpoenas were one-sided, only to Trump allies, sitting members of Congress. Yeah, that's really the way to go. Smith, he still defends the probe, claiming the subpoenas were narrow and proper. Because you can don't mean you should, Playboy. Arctic frost, my dear friends, has been one of the most secretive political investigations of the last decade, and this new revelation shows exactly. It shows exactly why the country lost trust in the Department of Justice. Yeah, it was under the Biden administration, but there's a culture there. There's a culture there that's been there for a long time. And some of the things that Pam Bondi does makes me concerned that she's doing exactly what they did, and other things she's doing makes me happy and says, okay, she's trying to do some new things. That's cool. And we don't know what's on her shoulders, and we don't know what she's facing, and maybe that's the most she can realistically do under some elite pressure that we don't know of. But some of the stuff she has done, like the old folks, really it hasn't sat very well with some folks that supported her nomination, me included. All right, look, when we get back after this break, we're gonna pick this topic back up. We'll talk about some other stuff too. Hey, in the meantime, go to rumble.com and check us out, The Josh Guillory Show. I also want you to go over there to YouTube. Go over there to our social media accounts. Check us out, man, and we can't wait. But that chat over in Rumble, it is starting to come alive. All right, stick around. We'll be right back. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to hour number 2 of the Josh Guillory Show. I remain your very, very grateful host, and in studio with me still, Q Magic.
Good afternoon.
Yes, it is. It's a great day. God made it a great day no matter what, I'm telling you. All right, so let's continue our discussion here. We're talking about Arctic frost. Arctic frost was an un-American probe investigation, secret investigation on Americans by the Department of Justice, and that included sitting members of the United States House of Representatives and United States Senate. So and it was presented to this judge anonymously. Didn't even tell the judge the names and all that stuff. And that was a choice by the special prosecutor, Jack Smith, at the time. Under the previous policies, they were allowed to do that. Like, but you could have candor. You could choose to do the right thing. I mean, I didn't think when the policy was rendered that people envisioned a special counsel cheating like that. I mean, it's basically what it is. Lawfully. But, here we are. So, things hopefully, they did change with that policy. But Arctic frost, it was totally and completely 100% a secretive political investigation that we haven't seen for at least 10 years, and I've ventured the last 25 years. But here's the deal. You can't run an operation that targets lawmakers, demands multiple gag orders, and then hide the fact that you're going after members of Congress. It just doesn't sit well. Like, the truth does usually always come out. But see, Democrats and rhinos, they're banking that you're going to forget that voters are, they're busy, man. They got families, they're working, things like that. They play the long game. 5 years, 4 years, man. They'll forget that. They'll forget all those lies. But all of that would, and then Jack Smith's not the only one. I'll give him a break. Jack Smith's not the only one. He's not the only elite or bureaucrat that's done that. That's abused the system, abused Americans by not even close. But all of this exposure is what has led to the confidence of the American people being destroyed as it relates to the Department of Justice, even right now. Even right now. Even if you love Kash Patel, even if you love Pam Bondi, bigger than them. Neither one of them have shown to me that they're going to flip it upside down and start fixing it. Even right now, the FBI can go and talk to Americans, and they won't let you record them, but they're constantly recording you. I wouldn't know that unless I was a lawyer. Isn't that crazy? Did y'all know that? How fair is that? And then they they, the government, write it down as if it's true. Like whatever it is. No matter what. And then if they say you lied to them, that's a crime too. Even if you didn't. Hey, but you wouldn't know because nobody can record them. And when you do, they run. They won't let you. Oh, no, we're done. Pretty funny. Actually, pretty sad. Pretty sad that the federal government, I'm sorry, but the FBI, you want to talk about Nazi, that's like the Gestapo. It is. No? Quasi? Too far?
No, definitely
not far enough.
The Gestapo wore uniforms.
Oh, that's true. These guys wear suits. Man, if you gave those guys a patch to wear, they would straight up be wearing that patch. They would be wearing that armband like freaking nobody's business. I bet you there's some people that do. I know it. But this wasn't a minor oversight when it relates to not giving full disclosure to the court. That was purposeful. You cannot deny that. That was purposeful. If you don't tell the judge who the number belongs to, then the judge cannot raise constitutional concerns. This is not the judge's fault. And if the judge can't raise them, the DOJ gets the gag order that they want. They know how to play the system. That's how you handle things when the goal is speed, secrecy, and political advantage, no matter what the cost. American civil liberties be doggone. Graysley over there, he's right to... I probably butcher his name every time. Is it Grassley? You don't know either, huh? See? But I know, I have him pictured. Grassley. But he is right in what he's writing and what he's saying. And he's right to call it troubling. And troubling is probably being nice. But all these guys, he's one of the few remaining institutionalists, and this is why I highlight him, because of his history, who spent decades defending oversight authority. He should get a lot of credit for that. And he understands that Congress must be able to speak freely. Must. That's a legislative process. When you suppress congressional members, you're suppressing an entire district, whether you like it or not. But they have to be able to speak freely. Congress has to be able to question the executive branch freely and communicate with Americans freely, too. What's like DOJ, man? All these non-elected people, y'all don't get that? That's crazy. I mean, it's crazy that it went on that long. But when the Department of Justice quietly subpoenas those communications without disclosure, you're not investigating crime. Like, you're not investigating crime. You're crossing into a zone where political power is being exercised behind a curtain. That's what's happening. Talk about sunlight, transparency. That is the opposite. And that's exactly how people end up thinking government is targeting them, because they are. People ask, is so-and-so under investigation by the FBI? Yes. Whoever it is. Your neighbor, me, you, all of us. All of us. If you're American. If you're American, you're on the list. I invite the FBI to come on, but they probably neither confirm or deny. When they see secrecy, us, we the people, when we see this kind of nonsense that's at the top, we assume there's secrecy everywhere, because there is, and it's a safe assumption. When you see elites, when you see the higher-ups in the FBI getting immunity from counter-espionage, we covered that like a week or two ago, that means they can be spying on us. They're immune to that they don't get looked into. That's a problem. Good for thee, but not good for me. All right, guys, stick around. Oh, in the meantime, go look at the Constitution and tell me where it says we have a national police force. All right, we'll be right back. Welcome back to the Josh Guillory Show. Broadcasting live from the KPEL studios here in Lafayette, Louisiana. Also broadcasting live on Rumble, rumble.com. Go check us out, man, rumble.com. Look up the Josh Guillory Show. Hey, shout out to our KLFY Plus viewing audience. We're so happy that you can join us each and every day. All right, let's change gears, shall we? I think we can wrap a bow on all that. Let's go back to this might make some folks' blood boil, but we're going to talk about some illegal immigration again, all right? I know my blood might start boiling. Quentin, throw some water on it. We can't get mad. We just got to get aware, get informed, and stay in the fight peacefully. All right. Well, Minnesota, golly, Governor Walz. I mean, I'm starting to feel bad for this guy. And we know what kind. We know what kind of blessed his heart that was. This poor fella, he's such a pawn and he doesn't even know it. Like, totally. Like, oh, happy Tim. Governor Walz, I believe in respecting the office. Governor Walz, he didn't know what to do during that debate. That Democrat leadership had him so prepared for a miniature Trump, like, total, like, name calling and all this silly stuff. Oh, no. And it's actually a very good debate. It was a very refreshing debate. The vice presidential debate of 2024, that one goes down with, like, 2008. I thought the 2008 vice presidential debate was good. I am totally a nerd, if you can't tell. Like, who the heck keeps up in their mind the vice presidential debates? I need a life. I find it interesting. Well, Minnesota is under federal scrutiny after the U.S. Department of Transportation. Yeah, they got one too. The U.S. DOT said an audit found the state of Minnesota illegally issued commercial driver licenses to non-citizens who were not legally allowed to have them. Anybody shocked? The feds say 1/3 of the non-domiciled CDLs they reviewed, 1/3, were unlawful. 1/3. Having a CDL comes with some responsibilities. It's not the regular driver's license. And the feds also say, the federal DOT says Minnesota could lose more than $30 million in federal highway funds if they don't fix it. Oh, and gave them 30 days. You got to correct it within 30 days. That's, common sense. Yeah, absolutely. Probably with 2 days training, but we'll give them 30. So federal auditors, they say that Minnesota, again, issued these CDLs, but specifically to people who were not legally in the country at either expired lawful presence or failed basic verification. I'm going to say the last part again. Failed basic verification. My youngest child just got a license, and all of y'all better watch out. But, we even had to prove her identification. It's a no-brainer. I had no problem with it. The audit focused on non-domiciled CDLs. That's important because you got to kind of see, you got to tighten the purview here and what the scope of what we're talking about, especially when it comes to the federal government. So this particular audit was on non-domiciled CDLs, okay, non-Americans, where licenses were given to these non-citizens and non-permanent residents, and 1/3 was illegal. 1/3 was unlawful for the state of Minnesota to actually give a CDL, a commercial driver's license, transporting the goods, a lot of goods that keep our economy rolling. You'd think there's some sensitivities there sometimes? Yeah, sure. Most of the time, no, but enough times to matter. Just takes one. So USDOT says the violations follow months of deadly crashes involving illegal foreign drivers in that area. All right. That's important because their population there, whether legal or illegal, they have a large Somalian population. They have a large Arabic population. They have, and apparently, a large illegal immigration population way up north. You think they're crossing the Canadian border? Well, Governor Walz denies wrongdoing. Oh, Governor Tim Walz. Happy Tim. He says he has followed the law for decades, or Minnesota has followed the law for decades. All right. So the federal demand, I'm going to break this down. The federal demand says this: pause all non-domiciled CDLs, very reasonable, revoke the illegal ones, not an undue burden here in Minnesota, and reissue them only after you verify the legality of the person trying to get the commercial driver's license. That is not like a big lift. And they want them to conduct internal audits. Is that so hard? Is in it? None of it. So Minnesota paused issuing the license immediately, and they should get credit for that. They're not like Governor Newsom. I'll give Governor Walz that. He's not like Governor Newsom just flipping the bird to federal authority when they have no legal grounds to do it. You know, I mean, at least he's that. Now he'll put it, 1,000 tampons in boys' bathrooms, but he at least he knows. He at least knows the chain of command. I wonder what. We'll go to that another day. State officials over there in Minnesota admit that they already found administrative errors earlier this year and concealed ineligible CDLs. You want me to say that again? Openly concealed it. Oh, no big deal. Yeah.
Is conceal another word for cover up? Right. And nonchalant, well, at least this article I read, just, we found that earlier. And we just hit it. Like, guys, this is a time where we need to create a special segment. If it were a Republican, he's writing it down. Q is writing it down. Yeah, we might bring a special segment. If it were a Republican that admitted to issuing a commercial driver's license illegally, not even to illegal agents, just unlawfully, 1/3 of them, what would happen? Just play that tape in your mind. What would happen if it were a Republican? This audit follows broader federal scrutiny of Minnesota's Somalia population. We talked about that a little bit, including investigations into fraud to terror financing. Remember, we talked about that, I think a couple of shows, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe some callers called in, too. And also ICE operations in the Twin Cities, Minneapolis. President Trump recently directed DHS to re-examine green cards from Somalia. You may have read that in the news. And ordered an enforcement surge targeting illegal immigration and fraud in Minnesota. So this comes after heightened scrutiny based on facts. And, I mean, hey, great. At least we have someone in office trying to protect American families, trying to protect American kids, trying to protect American businesses and workers. Why is this hard? I think most people get it. That's why I think that the Democrat leaders are really not serving Democrat voters well, because most Democrat voters understand what I just said. Most people agree on this stuff. But what's interesting about this one is this particular story, it sits at an intersection. You got public safety, you got immigration enforcement over here, and you have basic government competence. And I don't understand why we can't balance that. All right, guys, stick around. We're going to take a tiny little break. Hey, guess what? Phone lines are open again. I can't wait. All right, guys, we'll be back. welcome back to the Josh Guillory Show. We're broadcasting live KPEL Studios here in Lafayette, also live on rumble.com. Go check us out at rumble.com, the Josh Guillory Show. Man, all right, so, man, we got so many great things to talk about. Q, did you have a good break?
I had a fantastic break.
Did you look up anything on Governor Walz?
I didn't look up anything new.
Yeah, okay. Well, I was going to, okay.
But I did find it interesting. I was watching a video of him talking the other day, and I was trying to figure out, how is anyone genuinely and authentically that happy all the time? Like, especially with the scandals going on in his own state, and he's so excited. Is he excited about the scandals?
He's pumped, man. They got an influx of tampons. All right, so let's go back to the phone lines. These guys are no strangers to the phone. Let's see here. Who are we going to first? All right, Renee, what you got, buddy?
I want to say that the Democratic condition in America, that if Woodrow Wilson or FDR would happen to somehow be president here at this time, most of these communist Democrats, the media, academia would be put in jail, deported, shot, hanged, electric chair like the Rosenberg, or lethal injection, because that's how bad some of these communist Democrats are.
All right. Hey, thanks, Renee. Look, I mean, that's an interesting take on it. And the only reason I'm pausing there is because, I was trying to say, like, well, what's their link there? What's the link? Where's he coming at? But if you think about it, look, World War II, I mean, FDR didn't play around. Truman didn't either. But FDR, I mean, look, how many Japanese Americans did he imprison? We have the benefit in 2026 of looking back and, we can judge now. Go put yourself in America's shoes at the time. It's really easy to take the moral high ground in 2026. All right, let's see here. Big Chris. Let's go to Big Chris. You got it? Big Chris, what's up, man?
Hey, Josh. In is it Minnesota that they had the illegal CDL drivers?
Oh, yeah, that's what we're talking about.
Okay, well, look, when I used to own a liquor store, if I sold liquor to somebody that was obviously drunk and they committed an accident and killed somebody or hurt somebody, I was liable.
Hey.
So why can't these people that give these CDLs to them, whoever's in charge of handing out these CDLs, why aren't they held to a standard like that to where they have to pay a consequence if they give illegals that aren't trained and can't pass a CDL?
Man, okay, so that is so interesting. And I bet you, Big Chris, there's probably a lawyer out there in Minnesota maybe would be interested in taking that case. More so, though, because you got to show damages, you got to show some injury. So that would be more of like an injunction to prevent. But the poor Aiden over there in California, I think his family has grounds. I would be curious. They got immunity a little bit. I mean, they're legislating it. It would be an interesting legal discussion but if there's any case where you could sue a government, my goodness, for failing to protect, where you have a duty to protect Aiden's family and other families that were killed by illegal aliens. Yeah. Like in states where, like in this case where Aiden, California, they even passed a law saying we're not going to comply with federal ICE, like with ICE officers. That, I think, we're in uncharted waters. I mean, we had, just to put it in perspective, like really go back and look at Supreme Court case history. Like just look, because this is kind of how our country is molded a little bit. We did have those discussions before. What a state and the federal government and all that stuff. We had that. Go look at the early 1800s, like really, really early 1800s. And then go forward and read Chief Justice John Marshall's writings, where a lot of the basis for the Supreme Court and jurisprudence, or how the court is viewed too, but also run, and its role from judicial review and on. Go read John Marshall. Go read some of his opinions. And go look at the Marshall Court, So, okay, let's go back to the phone lines here. All right, Mr. Bobby.
Yeah, we're in the 4 o'clock class here, Professor Guillory.
Sorry. There's my mic. Well, I certainly appreciate that, Mr. Bobby. Carry on.
That beats the 5:30 class.
Anyway,
Hey, here's the deal. Why don't attractive AG Pam Bondi there ring in the FBI?
Well, that would
She got control of it.
yeah, that would require a desire to do so.
Why not? Why doesn't she?
Probably, I would say probably a word that starts with a P and rhymes with power. That's what I would say.
Yeah, well, I think you in the first class here, you said she basically wasn't doing her job.
I think I'm pulling for her, Mr. Bobby, and I think you are too.
Yeah, me too.
You know, and when I remember you calling in when she was nominated, we were all excited and
Yeah, attractive and intelligent. What can you ask for?
and bold, you know, or at least
Yeah,
in
and
Florida.
bold.
In Florida, she was.
Oh yeah.
I think, man.
I heard when a 6'2" husband stands up, he gets in a position like a frog when she says jump. Copy out.
Oh, Mr. You dance on it. All right, let's go to Eddie. Eddie, what you got? What you got, Eddie?
Hey, Mr. Bobby, you are funny. I say, Roy Clayhagen and our other ones, let's kick all them, like Minnesota, California, and all that. Instead of them succeeding, let's just kick them out the United States.
Well, it's kind
And
of
whenever they cross that border, you know, if you ever watch them old war shows, they always had that little arm sticking down. You know, that way they have to stop and check them and make sure that they don't come to the United States. Make them the state of, their own country of Minnesota, and they're not allowed to cross the line because they be imported. You know what I mean? They put it back to their country.
They're going back to the country of Minnesota. Hey, I hear you.
Country of Minnesota. Yeah.
Well, them in South California too. if we're gonna create territories, you lose your statehood with that behavior. You're only a territory. We're not even making you a country. You're only we get your fruits.
Right.
We get your fruits. All righty, let's see here. Let's go back to the phone lines. Warren, what you got, Warren?
Well, if nobody want to fix the prison system, you know, why don't we just round all these people up and put them in prison and let the hardcore prisoners straighten out these people for us, and, you know, they can really educate them and show them why they call it the slammer.
Hey, that's one way. I definitely learned some lessons there. Look, bottom line is, I mean, when it comes to fighting illegal immigration, guys, I mean, just do the math, okay? Just do the math. If 15 million, let's just say 10 million. House Republicans reported 15 to 20. You know, let's just say 10 million. Let's say 10 million illegal aliens crossed the southern border under President Biden. Just say 10 million, all right? Let's say 1%. 99% of them, good people, just want the American dream. Got it. Let's just say 1%. It might be big, more than that, but let's just say 1% are bad actors. Let's see, 1% of 10 million. That's 1 million. That's 100,000. Okay? So 100,000 bad actors under that math, which is probably more, has crossed the southern border during the Biden administration. Guys, it just takes one. There were 19 hijackers on September 11th. 19. Under the math I just gave, 100,000 went through the border. What if it's 10,000? Let's go a tenth of a percent. Let's say 99.9 of the 10 million, we know it's more, 10 million illegal aliens that crossed the southern border during President Biden's tenure. You're at 10,000. It took 19 hijackers. Do we need to keep going? I mean, a tenth of a percent. It's 1,000. It took 19. 1,000th of a percent. 100. It took 19. Well, we can keep going. Like, the point is, Democrats and Republicans both benefit when our borders are secure. We're not anti-immigration. We're very much pro-lawful immigration. And me, as a conservative Republican, I know I share the same values as many conservative Republicans. We think the problem is the efficiency. It's not if we would enforce the law, but the problem with immigration is the same problem with every other thing in the federal government. It's full of bureaucrats. It's full of wasted red tape, and we could be doing that more efficiently. And Trump has a great, I mean, his immigration policies are awesome, perfect. But doing all of the screening and everything like it's designed in the home country before you come over, like Democrats should be welcoming that. You're the party of vaccines. You're the party of all the stuff. Like, come on. You want that coming in? How come you wanted us to wear 2 masks on our face, but you don't care if these illegal aliens aren't immunized for any of the stuff that we have in America? Like, what's your problem? Lack of common sense? It's not the regular Democrat. It's not the regular folks. It's the people in charge that are leading these people blindly to nowhere good and nowhere good for our country. So we're going to take a little break, and when we get back, we'll be right back, and we're going to have some fun. All right, guys, stick around. Put me back live. My bad, guys. We're going to Wellness Wednesday. Be careful out there.